My name is Brandon Fogal. This is Evolution, the only legitimate evolution there is. Tonight, we're going to be talking about Ilhan Omar and should she be deported? I know this can be a touchy subject, and I don't know, we should be just calling everybody to be deported. If there's legitimate reasons, they should go. And I think there is case to be made about Ilhan Omar that she should be deported from the United States of America. And a representative, a U.S. congressman woman, actually has called for Ilhan to be deported. Her name is Representative Nancy Mace. Just in, Representative Nancy Mace calls to deport Somali national Ilhan Omar. And this is from Nancy Mace's news release. It says Representative Nancy Mace moves to subpoena Ilhan Omar and alleged brother/husband in Minnesota fraud probe. Motion blocked by both parties. So it looks like this was released last week, but it has come more to light this week, and today the people are talking about it. This was yesterday. Congresswoman Nancy Mace, she's a Republican from South Carolina, moved to subpoena immigration records related to Representative Ilhan Omar and her brother/husband during a House Oversight and Accountability Committee hearing titled Oversight of Fraud and Misuse of Federal Funds in Minnesota Part 1. The hearing examined the massive theft and misuse of taxpayer dollars connected to a Somali-linked fraud network, which flourished under Minnesota Governor Tim Walz's leadership. Representative Mace's motion sought immigration records necessary to determine whether federal laws were violated in connection with the immigration of Omar and her brother/husband. The motion was tabled by both Democrats and Republicans on the committee. So people are talking about this. Donald Trump has talked about this, that we need to clean house. And it seems like with Ilhan, I just see not a national loyalty from her. It does not seem like she loves America. I don't know her heart. I don't know what her motives, what's going on in there. But whenever I hear her speak, it just seems that it is vitriol for America. And she is someone that we have that is representing our country. We're actually going to look a little bit further. This is her talking about everything that's been going on with the fraud/abuse in Minnesota. And she's asking for justification for all this onslaught. But you can just see that she seems like a prop. Somebody has just propped her there. But it seems like she is a person that has loyalties to some other country. So it doesn't necessarily have to do with her religion. But there does seem that she is being more loyal to Somalia than the United States of America. This is it says Juanita Broderick wrote this. The piece of Somalia is knee deep in the fraud. That's why Ilhan doesn't want a Minnesota investigation.
I'm so exhausted in trying to ask what any of this, information has led to you finding any criminals that you have indicted that explains why you are wasting so much of our taxpayer resources and also terrorizing our communities in the amount of federal law enforcement agents that you have in the streets of our city and our state. There needs to be some sort of justification.
There certainly is justification. Nick Shirley and what he's uncovered, that this is a systemic issue that's probably not in just Minnesota. It's probably spread out through the country. But this is a huge momentum that the Republicans or those in charge that love America, that want a clean house, need to go in there and make an example of that state. And I think they are. And her to say that there is no justification for them doing it, it does not have any credibility. And it doesn't seem like she is a person that is in love with the country or even the state that she's representing. It seems like it's more of to expand just influence for Somalia in Minnesota, to some way have a foothold, a handle on that state so that it can almost infect the rest of our nation. It seems like it's beginning there, but it's going to spread. This was really interesting today. Arthur McWaters, he tweeted out, how is this not treason? It says, incentivizing illegal immigration by vastly expanding welfare and giving it to non-citizens, keep borders open, create fast tracks from asylum to citizenship, allow mail-in ballots and eliminate photo ID for voting, win elections, repeat until one-party rule. I used to think this was an exaggeration, but after Elon's time at Doge and Nick Shirley's investigation in Minnesota, I think this taxpayer-funded vote laundering program is far more systemic than we think. And then Elon tweeted over that this has been happening for years. Ilhan Omar is the most obvious example. A large number of relatively recent arrived Somalis will elect only a Somali to Congress in that Minnesota district. This is much more subtle, but it's just as bad in many parts of America. Elon replied over that and says, "You are one of the dumbest people on earth. My district is literally a majority white district. Your conspiracy theories are laughable, and you should have no place in the society that cares about facts." What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Elon has a very good point, and bringing this to light. This is the cycle, and I love that Donald Trump has put in. He's actually getting us into motion of English becoming the United States of the language of the nation, that everybody needs to learn English. There needs to be the different cultures that are out there need to be brought into a American culture. And when different ideologies don't want to melt and don't want to join the American dream and love America, because it should be a test of love, a test of loyalty. Where do you stand? What are you ready to die for this country? Do you care for this country? Or are you just an insider that has been placed here to benefit where you are from, your former country? And I think Elon, as well, there's other people out there, but she seems like the most startling example of just a foreign operative that has been just placed and has got to the highest rung. I think of Zoran Mamdani. I think he can be a legit guy, and I think he can maybe step into New York and maybe do something good there. But with somebody with Elon, she just her whole tenure as being a representative of our country and of her state, it's just, there's never been, you can just see it in her eyes. You can see it when she speaks, when she talks about this country. It's almost like a sick, a repulsive nature that she has, that she can't stand it, but she's just there trying to grow something that is not America, that is not the American dream, that is not love for general Americans, but is just like a hatred and just wants to just sow distrust and lack of loyalty for our country. I am serious that I think she needs to be deported. She seriously needs to be sent back to Somalia. If you love Somalia, you don't love the United States, because there has to be a litmus test, whether you are for America or not. And it does not seem, there's some people there. She's just the most stark example of someone that just does not love our country. We are going into desperate, dangerous times, people. The United States, we need to come together. We need to weed out people that are not for America, that do not love this country. Because it's not just about just being a patriot for being a patriot's sake, to have a bumper sticker or anything like that on the back of your car and just, I love America, yeah, whoa, fireworks, but we could seriously be going into battle and into war with other nations, and we cannot have that a festering cancer inside of our own nation that's just going to betray us to other nations. There has to be a general and a camaraderie that we have. And this, it's not corny to say. It's not stupid. It's not just something naive to think this. This needs to be brought back to our window and our life, our outlook on life as Americans. I got your back. You got my back. When we go out to the grocery store, when we travel across the country, there is this community that as Americans that we come together, and it has to be based around this nucleus of that we love this country. We love the flag. We love America. That we don't, it's us against the world, I mean, it has to be that. It has to be that. Because it's like when we're in the trenches, when we're in, in the foxhole or whatever, We need to know that the people that are there with us are not going to turn on us. That are not just working for the other side. And because this is becoming more and more not just theoretical or hypothetical. This is legitimate. Like we are, other countries could easily turn on us in a second. We could be going to war at any time. I think Donald Trump he's leading through strength, but him leading through strength and trying to get us out of this mess that we are in has the possibility of wringing a sense of other countries getting a little pissed off. And I think we understand that. I think we get that. So with Elon, this if Donald Trump wants to seriously send a message, I'm being as, candid as possible. He needs to deport her. It has to come from him. It has to be something be sent down and actually step into this, because he's talked about it. And you see that woman, whoever it was, Nancy Mace, who tried to bring this up, and it got squashed, because there's a lot of useless Republicans and Democrats in Congress. They can't do anything. All they are a political theater. They are a peanut gallery. They are just there to be they're just entertaining each other. They're like the WWE wrestling. It's a show. It's fake. They're not there actually getting anything done. They're just, doing something, going on camera. It literally is like the WWE. They go on there and they just say a lot of things, but then they go back behind closed doors and they're just happy, and they know it's a show. And anybody that goes in there, they get sucked into that. The people that can actually make a difference are the people that are in the unelected deep state that we have in there. So Donald Trump putting people there is the only thing that's going to last, because he's not going to be there forever. But he seriously, people are bringing this up more and more. He needs to call on her name. He needs to call her out and seriously move on this, because and there is cause for this. Whether if she did something illegal by marrying her brother so that she could speed up the process in becoming an American citizen, if there was cause for that, because there's always something people can find. There's always something there, and if there was legitimate abuse or fraud that she committed, or something that she did illegally to become a United States citizen, if she's not legitimately one, even more of a reason. But I'm just saying, we need to start cleaning house. There has to be a test, almost like a polygraph, that if you want to become a representative of our government, you want to be there and speak for our people, you need to take a test. Do you love America? And you need to be on a polygraph or something that's going to actually, I better be saying the truth. And cameras on you. It's not silly. This is what we need to actually happen. And for people, why are you wanting to serve? Because all it is government officials are getting there, and then they're just getting rich. They're just getting extremely rich. And they're there for their purposes. They're not there for you. And if it ever was a swamp, it is now, and it has been for the longest time. I think Donald Trump needs to, and he is bringing the hammer more. It seemed like a lot of this year he has dialed it back, and he has just kind of rode this out. He hasn't been as fierce on America first as we all thought he would. But I think of late he is ramping it up. He understands that he needs to get back to what got him there and why we want him there. Because we want him to lead the charge of making America great, not only just here, but across in this world. We need to excel in our supremacy and our power in this world. American citizens, you are royalty on this planet, and that's the mindset that I think Donald Trump should have, and I think Americans should have. We are the sovereigns of this nation. We don't have a king. Each American citizen is the sovereign. We are the kings and queens of this land. All right, and before we wrap it up, I did want to bring up Nicholas J. Fuentes is going to be back on the air tonight, and I'm excited about that. He's been off. He's had some well-deserved rest for these last few weeks, and so America First returns tonight. He says this week he will be covering Venezuela and the arrest of Maduro, protests and regime change in Iran, ICE protests and killing of George Floyd. We all know what happened in Minnesota. U.S. acquisition of Greenland and Trump's domestic policy reboot. I'm really excited to see that. So I just wanted to call that out. I know a lot of people are out there. I know everybody has mixed feelings about him. Some people just love him. Some people hate him. Some people don't know what to think. I'm a person. I think overall, he appeals to me because he speaks like no one else can speak. He has the clearest mind and clearest ability to deliver clear points that are going to make our America great again. And I think that's what he is all about. He ultimately he wants America to be first. He wants a I don't I like there's so many things that you could go into about it. I just wanted to send my well wishes of him in this new year of 2026. So excited to see that. All right, we'll leave it at that. Follow me on X and Instagram at Brandon Fogal, and thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a great day.